Playoff football is back in New England, so if you haven't been following along as closely as you should, we've got you covered.
Yeah, we won't judge you just yet. And to do that, we actually walked down the halls of our NBC Boston studios to find our friends David Andrews and Brian Hoyer. They're former Patriots players, but now the current host of the Quick Snap podcast on NBC Sports Boston. Welcome to the Hub today.
Thanks for having us.
Through snacks, but now we're friends in person.
I know,
but there's no snacks today.
I know.
We have snacks for you.
Okay.
They're hidden. We had to wait, though.
Every week we walk in, we're like, what's it going to be? And I'll tell you what, that chocolate bar, the whiskey chocolate bar,
that
I've been having that like a little square every night, so I appreciate that.
You know they make them in Massachusetts in their backyard?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It was really good.
All right, we got to talk football.
Yes, Drake May, everyone knows. He's been having an MVP caliber season, and his second year at that. What do you two like most about the way he's developed over this past year?
I'll let the quarterback take that one.
Former QB.
You know what? It's been such an incredible progression for him, right? David was on the team with him last year and just would talk about his maturity. It wasn't a great year last year. He kind of dealt with some ups and downs. And then this year, it's just been week after week of improvement. You see the leadership on and off the field. He even said it, last Sunday night was not his best night, but when they needed him most, he was great in the second half, had an incredible touchdown pass to Hunter Henry. So he's really the total package. I said last week on our show, I think he's the prototypical modern-day quarterback. He's athletic, but he wants to throw from the pocket. And he's really mastered this Josh McDaniels offense.
I guess from an O-lineman perspective, especially a center, you want a guy back there that you believe in, right? And, I think with Drake, that's a guy that everyone can believe in. And as an O-lineman, that means a lot to you. I think, obviously, and Michael's making snacks. Yep. Well, that's the quickest way to a 300-pounder's heart. So they've won him over right there.
Absolutely.
But I think everyone, believes in him and they have faith in him. And as an O-lineman, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's one guy that has a lot of faith in him, Mike Vrabel, coming in first season here as head coach. What do you think it is about him and his coaching style that has really helped this team form their identity?
Yeah, I think Mike's done a great job. First of all, he laid out 3 goals that he had and, wanted to win the division, check, host playoff games, well, now you're hosting 2, and then compete for a championship, which you are doing. So there was a clear plan, a clear direction on where he wanted to go, and I think he's done a great job in such a short amount of time of bringing a team together, right? And you're taking guys from all different ages, all different walks of life, beliefs, whatever, and you got to get them to not disown themselves, but sometimes you put that stuff aside and you know that about each other, but then you come into a building and you're one and you're a team and it's a little bit less about yourself and more about the team. And I think he's done a great job of that, and guys have really bought into it, and they've obviously gotten better as a football team, but that part of it I think is really cool for me.
So Houston had a chance to beat out Pittsburgh on Monday, and the Patriots now get to host them on Sunday. What do you two think that the Patriots need to do to seal that win?
Yeah, that Houston Texans defense is something else. And they're going to have to go in and offensively, they're going to have to make sure they protect the football. We saw a few turnovers against the Chargers the other night. They're not going to be able to do that. I thought the defense played phenomenal the other night against the Chargers. Zach Core did a tremendous job. Those guys were flying around, blitzing. They're going to have to put that pressure on C.J. Stroud. We saw him turn the ball over against Pittsburgh. It's going to be a total team effort. And I think David and I both know when it gets to the playoffs, that margin of error gets smaller and smaller. And so it's going to take a total team effort. I think what David talked about, Vrabel's best quality was bringing this team together, getting to know each other. There was a little segment they did pregame talking about everybody telling their personal stories and really developing that before it went to the field. And you can see the way this team plays for one another. They rely on each other, and that's something special. And when it comes to this Sunday, 3 p.m. down in Foxborough, there's going to be some of those moments they're going to have to lean on each other. And I think they've built that up, and it's going to take a total team effort, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we love your perspective, and people can hear more of it on the pod that comes out Wednesdays. What can people expect this week?
I think we got a pretty big special guest this week.
We heard about
making his podcast debut.
Yeah.
Oh, is that true?
Wait a minute. Are you going to tell us?
Oh,
We know, but we don't know.
That's what he told you to tell the
So
people.
we were very fortunate, which he hates when you call him Mr. Kraft, but I cannot not call him Mr. Kraft. But RKK this week, and I think for us, Brian has a different perspective than I did because I played 10 years just here. And I have a great relationship with RKK and very appreciative. But Brian got to see a lot of different organizations, how they were ran. And I think so his perspective on that is really cool. But obviously with the team this year, look, it's been some ups and downs the last few years. They've now teams back in the playoffs. Like we said, they're competing for championships, and hitting to hear some of his perspectives was really cool, I think, today.
Yeah, he's awesome. Like David said, I saw a lot of owners. Now, RKK was my first experience in the NFL and ownership, and I thought that's what it should be. He set the standard, and no one came close to that. So to now be sitting here 17, 18 years later interviewing him was very special for me. I know it was special for David, and I think our viewers will really get a lot out of it. He's done so much, not just for the organization, but for the community. And really, I'm from Cleveland, man. We didn't have organizations like that. And I look around here, whether it's the Patriots, the Red Sox, the Celtics, the Bruins, there's a lot going on here. And it really, when I look at it, Mr. Kraft has brought a winning organization to the Patriots, and now we on the heels of doing it again. So it's really impressive.
Well, that's going to be a really good episode. Thank you both for your time.
Yeah,
thanks y'all.